What's good, guys? Welcome to the last minute full card predictions, where we go over each and every single one of these fights, starting with the first fight, ending with the last fight. All 14 fights on this card have remained. One thing I want to mention, guys, is everybody made weight except for Giga Chikadze. Giga Chikadze is the only fighter to miss weight on this card. Giga missed weight by 1 pound, which means he was really trying hard to make that weight, and this will definitely matter tomorrow night when he's defending takedowns and the onslaught of David Onama, but we'll talk about that later. Giga looked really bad on the scales. He was shaking, and I don't know about him now. He missed weight for the first time ever in his career, and this is a massive red flag in my opinion, and this is something that I do not like to see. So we're going to have some pick flips, so stay tuned. And if you guys don't like me reading the method of victories, the totals, will this fight go the distance, and the double chances, you guys can skip to the last 2 minutes of the segment, of the timestamp, and you're going to see all the props that I like the best. Because I've seen a lot of you guys say, don't read all the props. But in this case, we need each and every single outcome in order for us to see the price tag. And when we look back, oh, okay, that was the price tag. Oh, what was the price tag of submission? We look back, because, anything is possible in the fight game, so let's get it. One thing I ask is just give me a like. Let's get it, baby. So, Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyne Edwards. Chelsea Chandler plus 235, Joselyne Edwards minus 320. Plus 235 now for Chelsea Chandler, Joselyne Edwards minus 300. 1-800 gambler type of fight. My rule of thumb is to never bet the first fight, but if you want to bet this one, maybe you could take that this fight goes the distance. Let's break it down. I can never trust Chandler. Surprisingly, they both made weight. I don't know how these ladies make weight. I don't know how Anthony Smith never missed weight in his entire career, but Giga misses weight. It seems like Father Time is getting up to Giga Chikadze. She missed weight. We all know these ladies are known for missing weight. Matched up against Joselyne Edwards, an athlete who's finding her groove to get more fights in the UFC. In this case, guys, I'm going to go Joselyne Edwards to win this fight. We already know what we're going to get with these ladies. Pure brute strength versus a little bit of a grappling clinic from Joselyne Edwards. We're going to see if Chelsea Chandler can use her pure strength to defend the takedowns from Joselyne Edwards, if she can hang in the striking department. In this case, I'm going to be taking Joselyne Edwards. I'm going to take her to utilize her takedowns and to finish this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Let's go over the props. Chandler by KO plus 1,400. Chandler by sub plus 1,100. Chandler by decision plus 440. Edwards by KO plus 1,100. Edwards by sub plus 850. Edwards by decision minus 170. I like Edwards by decision, but you guys know I like the double chance by submission on points, so we're going to get to it. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 380. I like it. At a minus 380, it's a little bit of a big price tag. Over 2.5, minus 460. Under 2.5, plus 320. Chandler by KO on points, plus 330. Chandler by sub points, plus 300. Edwards by KO on points, minus 230. Edwards by submission on points, minus 250. By the way, did you guys hear about Joaquin Buckley versus Kamaru Usman? That's going to be an absolute banger fight. I can't wait for UFC Atlanta. Let's get it. So, with this fight, guys, I'm going to go Joselyne Edwards by submission on points at a minus 250. I'm going to take the over 2.5 at a minus 460. I'm going to take this fight goes the distance at a minus 380. And give me Joselyne Edwards by decision at a minus 170. But you guys know my rule of thumb. Don't bet the first fight too heavy. You can take that this fight goes the distance. Maybe take Joselyne Edwards by submission on points because she did get a submission in her last fight against Vidal. So we'll see how this one ages. Let's go, my girl, Joselyne Edwards. Let's go. This is going to be a great card, guys. It's going to be an absolute banger card. Roberto Romero versus Timmy Cuamba. This is one of those fights where it opened up at a minus 113 on either side. Timmy Cuamba minus 113, Roberto Romero minus 113. Now, Timmy Cuamba minus 108, Roberto Romero minus 112. You guys know my 6 best bets in lock of the week. Roberto Romero is in there. Timmy Cuamba's a decent striker, good takedowns, can invest in the body, always throws, always moves. But he can have some weird timing on his takedowns, and he has a little bit of a lack of head movement. Roberto Romero, we know Timmy's going to try to wrestle, but he only wrestles when he's in trouble. He got dropped by Lucas Almeida and almost finished in that fight, but he kept moving forward. Roberto matched up against Roberto Romero, a pressure guy. Roberto Romero is more durable than I'd imagined. His durability was put on full display in the David Onama fight. We'll talk about that later. Up this card, I think Roberto Romero with the pressure. We know Timmy Cuamba is going to be more technical, but I got Roberto Romero to get this job done. Let's get it. Let's go over the props. Cuamba by KO plus 750. Timmy Cuamba by sub plus 1,600. Timmy by decision plus 200. If you like Timmy, take him by decision plus 200. Roberto Romero by KO plus 500. Roberto by sub plus 600. Roberto by decision plus 200. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 280. No, at a plus 140. Over 2.5, minus 260. Under 2.5, plus 196. Timmy Cuamba by KO on points, plus 130. Cuamba by submission on points, plus 165. Romero by KO on points, plus 100. Roberto Romero by sub points, plus 115. So I'm not going to get fancy, guys. Just give me Roberto Romero money line at a minus 112. maybe I'll take the over 2.5 at a minus 260 and that this fight goes the distance at a minus 180. But we all know we're playing with fire with that. So give me the over 2.5 at a minus 260. Give me that this fight goes the distance at a minus 180. And I'll take Roberto Romero money line at a minus 112. I expect him to win this fight by KO on points, double chance, but we don't have to go double chance because the value is already on Roberto Romero. There's value on either side. So give me Roberto Romero to win this fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. I think you should be able to win this fight. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. 856, 856. Now this one's a banger. Of course, we get a little bit of inconvenience, but I want to say, guys, Jaqueline Amorim versus Polyana Viana is a banger fight. Not only is it a banger fight, but when we look at these ladies face off, these are two of the most beautiful ladies in the UFC. Gyat! I gotta focus, because Gyat! Did you guys see how Amorim came in? Gyat! Alright, I gotta focus. But with this fight right here, Jaqueline Amorim opened up at a minus 620 earlier in the week. Polyana Viana plus 400. Now Amorim minus 900. Polyana Viana plus 570. Battle of the baddies. Two of the best looking woman MMA fighters in the UFC, but I will say, who do you guys think is more cuter? You guys like a Jaqueline Amorim or you guys like a Polyana Viana? In my case, I think Polyana Viana is a little bit more cuter. I think she's like a, 8 out of 10. Jaqueline Amorim, like a 6 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. What's your type? So with this fight right here, we know Jaqueline Amorim, no gi, and gi, BJJ world champion. Amorim has a 100% finish rate, which is an insane stat. She's a very talented athlete, very well-rounded, and she has a very good blast double leg, and I expect her to use that in this fight. Amorim can look a little off on the feet, but she has 2 TKOs on her record. Considering this fight is at 115, she has some hands. Very good hands. Amorim has 7 subs in the first round, a wide variety of subs, arm triangle choke, rear naked choke, and her favorite submission, in my opinion, is the arm bar. Matched up against Polyana Viana, she's on a 2-fight skid, losing to Lasmin Lucindo and Gillian Robertson. We know she's a little bit of a finish or bust type fighter. In this case, I'm taking Amorim to win this fight inside the distance. But we have to mention, guys, this is just like Chase Hooper. We all said Chase Hooper by submission, and what I say, Chase Hooper by submission or on points, because it comes in clutch for the massive long shot parlays. So with this fight right here, Jaqueline Amorim by KO plus 600, we know that's a possibility. Polyana Viana has been finished before. Amorim by sub minus 150. Amorim by decision plus 380. Polyana Viana by KO plus 2300. Viana by sub plus 3200. Viana by decision plus 800. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a plus 235. No at a minus 320. I like no, but it's a massive, massive price tag. Over 1.5 minus 102. Under 1.5 minus 124. I like the under 1.5 in this fight in this instance because we know Jaqueline Amorim has a lot of first round submissions. In fact, she has a lot of first round submissions if you want to go check her page on Tapology. Amorim by KO or sub minus 260. Amorim by KO on points plus 200. Amorim by submission on points minus 360. Viana by KO on points plus 650. Viana by sub or points plus 700. So, give me the under 1.5 at a minus 124. Give me Amorim by sub at a minus 150. I'm going to take that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 320. And give me Amorim by KO or sub at a minus 260. And last but not least, Amorim by submission or on points at a minus 360. So, I'm taking Amorim by sub or points minus 360. Amorim by KO or sub minus 260. Under 1.5 minus 124. Amorim by sub minus 150. And this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 320. So, let's go, my girl, Jaqueline Amorim. Unfortunately, we got to see my baby girl, Polyana Viana, go out. But let's go. Hopefully, she comes back. Come on, Blackshear. This is Cameron Saaiman. Sorry. I got a little too ahead of myself. Cameron Saaiman versus Malcolm Wellmaker. People's main event. In my opinion, this is one of my most anticipated fights on this card. Cameron Saaiman plus 110. Malcolm Wellmaker minus 134. But we know that earlier this week it was a minus 113 on either side. Saaiman is coming off of 2 losses and a 1-year layoff. Malcolm Wellmaker is a blue-collar worker who works full-time while training at the same time. And I think many of you guys know this. Wellmaker can wrestle, but we don't really know how good his grappling is. Saaiman can and has implemented a ton of grappling. He started as a grappler. His base is grappling, so I expect Cameron Saaiman to wrestle here. Saaiman is a little bit of a dirty fighter, in my opinion. He was kicking Payton Talbot, and he was kicking him low in order for him to get time for the ref to call a nut shot and then get time to relax because he was gassed in that fight. If you guys want to go watch it back, I expect him maybe to do something dirty like that in this fight. He might kick low in order to get a break if he gets a little tired, but I expect him to wrestle hard. I got Malcolm Wellmaker in this fight. Cameron Saaiman is technical, but I will say he's going to have to grapple in order to win this fight. he might be able to go toe-to-toe with Wellmaker. It's going to be a very tough fight for Wellmaker for his UFC debut, but I got Wellmaker. I'm very high on Wellmaker. Let's go. Wellmaker by KO plus 380. Wellmaker by submission plus 850. Wellmaker by decision plus 250. Cameron Saaiman by KO plus 550. Saaiman by sub plus 1,200. Saaiman by points plus 200. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a minus 146. No at a plus 114. Over 2.5 minus 176. Under 2.5 plus 138. Wellmaker by KO on points plus 105. Wellmaker by submission on points plus 170. Cameron Saaiman by KO on points plus 110. Cameron by sub or points plus 155. If you're on the Cameron Saaiman side, take him by decision. Cameron Saaiman by points plus 200. I think it's worth it. Me personally, I like Wellmaker by KO at a plus 380 because if I'm taking him, if he's going to win this fight, more than likely he might be able to find the button. It's either he's going to win this fight by KO or decision. I don't think he's going to find a submission on Cameron Saaiman. So give me Wellmaker by KO plus 380. Give me that this fight goes the distance at a minus 146. I'll take the over 2.5 at a minus 176. And give me Malcolm Wellmaker moneyline at a minus 134. Let's go, my guy, to win this fight. I'll probably go by KO on points. But just for a little bit more juice, we're taking those props. I'll go Malcolm Wellmaker by 29-28, unanimous decision, if not by KO. Let's go, my guy, Wellmaker. Welcome to the UFC, my guy. Welcome. Now, this one's another banger fight. This is the one that I thought was next up. Blackshear versus Alatengheili. I was so excited for this fight. We just saw Blackshear fight. We literally just saw him fight a month ago. Blackshear was a minus 390 earlier this week. Alatengheili plus 280. Now Blackshear minus 470. Alatengheili plus 330. With this fight right here, lost to Chris Motino. We know that, but I will say he has improved so much since then. Blackshear, we just saw him fight 4 weeks ago. We actually just saw him fight 4 weeks ago. And 3 days ago, it's probably a little bit more than since then, against Cody Gibson. He had a beautiful Kimura. He looked okay in that fight. He gave the first round. We know he has 4 losses in the UFC, but to the best. I will say, with this fight right here, guys, it's going to be a little bit of a tricky fight. Because I don't know about Blackshear. Eventually, he's going to lose as a massive favorite, but I don't think it's going to be this time. Matched up against Alatengheili, a good mixed martial artist, can sometimes get outstriked in fights. Just recently beat Clayton Rodriguez by decision, where he had 3 takedowns and 8 minutes of control. Prior to that, he lost to Chris Gutierrez. With the record of 17-9, he struggles with everyone unless he sticks to one specific game plan. He usually struggles. He's durable, good leg kicks, good 1-2, but struggles with pressure/brawlers. We know Cody Gibson took a round, so maybe Alatengheili can take a round. I'm going to go Blackshear, guys. Let's go over the props. I will say this one, I don't know how good Blackshear is. It's this fight in order for him to tell us how good he is. So, Blackshear by KO plus 1,000. Blackshear by sub plus 180. Blackshear by decision plus 135. Alatengheili by KO plus 950. Alatengheili by sub plus 2,200. Alatengheili by decision plus 650. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a minus 118. No at a minus 108. Over 2.5 minus 146. Under 2.5 plus 114. Blackshear by KO on points minus 105. Blackshear by submission on points minus 320. Alatengheili by KO on points plus 390. Alatengheili by sub or points plus 500. With this fight right here, guys, you guys know I like Blackshear by submission on points at a minus 320. I'll take the over 2.5 at a minus 146. I'll take that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 108. Give me Blackshear by decision at a plus 135. And give me Blackshear by submission at a plus 180. You guys know I like Blackshear by submission on points. But we all know that he might be able to get a KO here. I just don't think it's going to be in this fight. Let's go Blackshear for the dub. 29-28 unanimous decision. If not by submission, let's go, my guy. Let's go. Chris Gutierrez versus John Castañeda. This fight was scheduled like 10 times in a row. But we know that the UFC really wants this fight, I would say. Chris Gutierrez was a minus 125. John Castañeda minus 102. Now Chris Gutierrez minus 152. John Castañeda plus 124. So, we know that this fight was supposed to happen on UFC 313, but got canceled, now rescheduled a couple times now. Finally, let's hope they both show up. We know that this is going to be a very, very good volume fight. Chris Gutierrez is a very kick-heavy fighter with good volume, good low kicks, and a decent amount of cage control. He lands more than 5 significant strikes per minute. He chops your legs over and over, and then he can land a good 1-2 and a good knee up the middle. He has a 71% takedown defense. Chris Gutierrez admires his work a bit more than I would like, and that's why earlier this week I was picking John Castañeda. John Castañeda can wrestle, former 2-division wrestler. John Castañeda makes it dirty. He beat the shit out of Daniel Santos before he lost that fight by KO. A very well-rounded athlete with super fast hands, good takedown, great timing on his takedowns as well. Can lack some pop in his shots. But he had a canceled fight against Douglas Silva de Andrade. But the medical doctor said that there was some medical issues, so that fight fell through. So let's go over the props. In this case, guys, I'm going Chris Gutierrez, guys. I was going to say the plus 3.5 on either side. Maybe for John Castañeda, plus 3.5. But I'm going to go Chris Gutierrez. I'm making an official pick flip today, guys. I'm interested in seeing what you guys got. So let's go over the props. Chris Gutierrez by KO, plus 700. Chris by sub, plus 2,900. Chris by points, plus 115. I like Chris Gutierrez by points, guys. I really do. At a plus 115. John Castañeda by KO, plus 800. John Castañeda by sub, plus 850. John Castañeda by points, plus 230. If you're on Castañeda, take him by points at a plus 230. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 310. No, at a plus 220. I like yes at a minus 310 as a parlay piece. Over 2.5, minus 360. Under 2.5, plus 260. I think the over 2.5 is likely. Chris by KO on points, minus 140. Chris by submission on points, plus 100. Castañeda by KO on points, plus 150. Castañeda by sub or points, plus 155. There's value on either side. But with this fight, guys, give me Chris Gutierrez money line at a minus 150 too. And then give me Chris Gutierrez by points at a plus 115. I'll take over 2.5 at a minus 360. And I'll take that this fight goes the distance at a minus 310. And just to be a little bit fancy, give me Chris by KO or on points at a minus 140. Just to get a little bit greedy. But we don't want to get greedy with fights like this. But in this instance, I think Chris Gutierrez should be able to get the job done. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. 1309. Gage Young versus Evan Elder. Now, we know somebody else was supposed to be here, but we're not going to talk about him because that fight fell through. He's cut from the UFC, so in a way, it's a little bit of a good situation that he got cut from the UFC. It's better now. Evan Elder versus Gage Young. Welcome to the UFC, Gage Young. Plus 172 for Gage Young, minus 215 for Evan Elder. We know Ahmed was supposed to fight, but Ahmed is doing weird things. I wish Evan Elder was still able to beat the shit out of him. We know that this is going to be a very crazy fight. Evan Elder is super talented, very well-rounded, good heavy power on his strikes, good selection of takedowns as well. He can cut the cage very well. Once down, he can maintain some good control, land some good pop shots. He's coming off of that submission win over Darius Flowers. But we know Darius is not that good. When I saw Evan Elder as a favorite, I can't imagine what his price tag is now. And he actually decreased as a favorite. He's a minus 215. I expected him to be a little bit of a bigger favorite, but Gage Young is going to bring it to him. We know Gage Young is a wrestler. We know Gage Young lost to Quillen Salkid on Dana White Contender Series. He made it competitive. He got out-wrestled by Quillen. His boxing is good. He's very hook-heavy, in my opinion, and his cardio is not the best. Evan Elder is better in the kickboxing than Gage Young, and I think Gage Young is going to want to wrestle, but Evan Elder is going to win this fight by KO on points. Let's go over the props. Evan Elder by KO plus 600. Evan by sub plus 1,000. Evan by points plus 100. I like Evan by points at a plus 100. Even moneyline at a minus 215. Gage Young by KO plus 500. Gage Young by sub plus 1,600. Gage by points plus 420. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 205. No, at a plus 156. Over 2.5, minus 250. Under 2.5, plus 188. Evan by KO on points, minus 165. Evan by submission on points, minus 140. Gage by KO on points, plus 190. Gage by sub or points, plus 320. So, give me moneyline Evan Elder at a minus 215. I'll take Evan Elder by points at a plus 100. I'll take that this fight goes the distance at a minus 205. And give me, just in case, I'll take Evan Elder by KO or on points at a minus 165. Let's go, my guy, Evan Elder. Let's go. Show this guy. Show this guy levels. Show this guy that there's levels. We know the last time somebody said levels was Mark Jaqueline against the guy, I believe it was Gotsi, on PFL, and that didn't age well for Mark Jaqueline. But let's go. Up the card. Matt Schnell versus Jimmy Flick. Matt Schnell was a minus 295 earlier. Jimmy Flick plus 220. Now, Matt Schnell's a minus 188. Jimmy Flick plus 152. This is why it's very important to keep an eye on the odds, because a lot of casuals are going to come in. They're going to bet Matt Schnell at a minus 300. Little do you know that the day before the fight, you can get Matt Schnell at a minus 188 versus Jimmy Flick at a plus 152. If you had Jimmy Flick at a plus 220, congrats to you, my guy. You got some good value on that. Matt No Chin Schnell versus Jimmy the Sub-Artist Flick. Matt Schnell went to war with Sumadaji, who we just saw him beat Mitch Raposo. Matt can work his BJJ very well. He has decent amount of head movement, doesn't shoot takedowns if his life depended on it, though. He sometimes can just get caught out of nowhere. He has a 40% takedown accuracy. Lost to Mateus Nicolas by KO, Steve Ercik by KO, and his third loss in a row was a ninja choke to Cody Durden. But I will say, against Cody Durden, Matt Schnell looked very good with his head movement early. Matched up against Jimmy Flick, a grappler who loves to get subs, but he can't. So a grappler who loves to get subs, he can take you down once down, he can control, work his way, slow down the pace, make this more of his fight. Jimmy Flick just lost to Nate Mans, but he has 15 subs in his entire pro career, so that's going to be very impressive. He has a wide variety of subs, arm triangle, flying triangle, choke, and a great guillotine. He has a negative striking differential, though, and 21% takedown accuracy, which I think will matter in this fight. Let's go over the props. I'm going Matt Schnell, guys. Matt Schnell by KO plus 175. Matt Schnell by sub plus 470. Matt Schnell by decision plus 500. I like Matt Schnell by decision. I don't know if Matt Schnell is going to be able to KO him. I would assume that a majority of people are going to go Matt Schnell by KO. But is it too good to be true? Jimmy Flick by KO plus 1,200. Flick by sub plus 280. Flick by points plus 850. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a plus 300. No at a minus 430. Over 1.5 minus 108. Under 1.5 minus 118. Schnell by KO or sub minus 115. Schnell by KO on points minus 110. Schnell by submission on points plus 210. Flick by KO on points plus 500. Flick by submission on points plus 185. So, with this fight right here, guys, I'm going to take Matt Schnell by KO. Well, give me Matt Schnell money line at a minus 188. I think that's the safest option. It's a good parlay piece. Matt Schnell money line, minus 188. I'm going to take Matt Schnell by KO at a plus 175. If you like Jimmy Flick, take Jimmy Flick by sub at a plus 280, but I'm not taking that. I'm going to take that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 430. I'm going to take the over 1.5 at a minus 108. And give me Schnell by KO or sub at a minus 115. I think it should hit. But I will say, guys, there's some value with that over or under 1.5. If you like the over 1.5 at a minus 108, there's some value. Does it go over 7.5 minutes or not? If you think the under 1.5 is likely, it's a minus 118. So there's value on either side. Let's go Matt Schnell for the dub. I like him by KO on points, but in this case, I'll go by KO on submission. Because it's his retirement fight. I think he's going to bring in everything. Let's go Matt Schnell for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Good luck. 15-19. Ikram Aliskerov versus André Muniz. This is one of those fights where it's an absolute banger fight. Ikram Aliskerov, minus 550. André Muniz, plus 390. A rebooked fight that was supposed to happen at UFC Saudi Arabia. Ikram. Russian wrestler with only 2 losses on his record. 2 very good fighters. An athlete, a super well-rounded athlete. This guy has power and accuracy like I've never seen before. The way Ikram put out Phil Hawes is a great display of accuracy. This guy is so accurate. If he touches your chin, it'll turn to dust. Ikram has 5 subs. Surprisingly. He has a good Kimura, a great armbar, and a beautiful guillotine. His only 2 losses are to the best, Hamza Chimaev and Robert Whittaker. Which, damn, look at this guy's resume. Ikram actually has an insanely good wrestling pedigree, good takedowns and timing, very good top control as well. Muniz has 13 subs in the first round and 2 subs in the second round, 4 TKOs as well, and 5 decision wins. A hard grappler, good timing on his shots. BJJ, best good pop in his shots as well. I will say, this guy's a BJJ beast. He knows when to strike, and he doesn't shoot out of desperation like Bryce Mitchell. This guy knows what he's doing. He's not just shooting takedowns just to shoot. André Muniz will shoot a takedown when he sees the right opening. He's not like Bryce Mitchell who just shoots and just jumps into the guillotine, jumps into a ninja choke. This guy, André Muniz, will actually time his takedowns. Let's go over the props. I'm going Ikram. Ikram by KO minus 150. Ikram by sub plus 550. Ikram by points plus 550. Damn. Muniz by KO plus 2,300. Muniz by sub plus 850. Muniz by points plus 950. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a plus 340. No at a minus 550. Over 1.5 minus 112. Under 1.5 minus 112. That is a crazy over under 1.5. Tell me not. Ikram by KO on points minus 270. Ikram by sub or points minus 270. Muniz by KO on points plus 750. Muniz by sub or points plus 470. So, with this fight, guys, we can't take Ikram moneyline because it's so wide. Let's go Ikram by KO at a minus 150. Give me that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 550. I'll take the over 1.5 at a minus 112. And give me Ikram by KO or on points at a minus 270. Let's go, my guy, Ikram Aliskerov to win this fight by KO. I'll go by second or third round TKO. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. Now this is a banger fight. Dalby versus Randy Brown. Randy Brown was a minus 260. Nicolas Dalby plus 196. Now Randy Brown is a minus 280. Dalby plus 220. One thing I don't like is how the bookies sometimes make the fighter as a massive favorite early. They shrink him, and then they make him right back as a massive favorite, or they shrink him a little bit more. Randy Brown is a huge 6'3", great striker. Can manage distance very well. Good low kicks, very good jab, excellent 1-2. Is always on the hot. He's always moving. And that's one thing that I really like about Randy Brown. He's never staying still. His win over Muslim Salikov has aged very well. In fact, these guys both have beat Muslim Salikov. Randy Brown does okay when he's on the back foot, but in my opinion, he does even better when he's on the front foot. Randy Brown has 5 submission wins, 7 TKO wins, and 7 wins by decision. Randy Brown has good trips if he chooses to use them. He can mix it up very well. He has 9 takedowns in the UFC. He's always a treat to watch. I will say he performed very well against Brian Battle as well. Dalby is a cardio king. I've never seen someone with his age with cardio like him. He has good pop in his shots. Can get hit sometimes. Can make fights way more competitive than they need to be. And you'd expect him to get dropped. But this guy has insane recovery, guys. He can get dropped and he can come right back up, springs right back up. This guy has an insane resume, beating Gabriel Bonfim in a very close fight. Even losing to Renat as well. Dalby at 40 seems like he's never slowing down. 7 TKO wins for Dalby, 4 submission wins, and 12 wins by decision. In this case, this fight has decision written all over it. So, let's go over the props. Dalby by KO plus 1,000. Dalby by sub plus 1,700. Dalby by points plus 370. Randy by KO plus 350. Randy by sub plus 1,100. Randy by points plus 110. Will this fight go the distance? Yes at a minus 210. No at a plus 160. I like yes at a minus 210. Over 2.5 minus 310. Under 2.5 plus 225. The over 2.5 was like a minus 280 yesterday. Now it's a minus 310. That is insane. And look at this. Randy Brown to land 1 takedown. Minus 340? What? Nicolas Dalby to land 1 takedown. Minus 330? Those are traps written all over, but maybe Dalby gets a takedown if any of them do. Randy by KO on points, minus 210. Randy by submission on points, minus 125. Dalby by KO on points, plus 230. Dalby by sub points, plus 270. So, give me Randy Brown moneyline at a minus 280 as a good parlay piece. I'm going to take Randy by points at a plus 110. I'm going to take this fight goes the distance at a minus 210. I'm going to take the over 2.5 at a minus 310. And just to get a little fancy, give me Randy by KO on points at a minus 210. Just to get a little bit fancy with it. Let's go Randy Brown for the dub. Let's go, my guy. Let's go. 1740. Now, this is one of those fights, guys, where I was on a boost earlier. Michel Pereira minus 170. A boost plus 132. Now, Michel Pereira minus 148. A boost plus 120. This fight's definitely not going the distance, I'll tell you that. Michel Pereira is a beast who was at 170 for a while until he was forced to move up in weight. By the way, this guy, you guys remember when this guy brought his side piece to the fight with Anthony Fluffy Hernandez and his wife got pissed? Alright, so 185 is way better for Michel Pereira. He's only 31 years old with 43 professional fights. He has good power, good athleticism, very well-rounded, can find a sub, can force you to make a mistake and capitalize on it. And he's a showman. Michel's cardio is terrible. This guy needs an inhaler or something because this guy has an asthma attack after 2 minutes. Matched up against Abus Magomedov. Abus has been doing better. Managed to get 2-fight win streak after losing to Sean Strickland and Kyle Barallo. He is 3-2 in the UFC with wins over Dustin Stolfus, Wally Alves, and his best win yet, Bruno Ferreira. He has a good teep to the body, good power, very long, and he will be the taller fighter by 1 inch. But in this case, they kind of look, a little bit similar, but Abus is the taller fighter slightly. Abus has a good guillotine choke, a good Kimura, and an excellent arm triangle that he got Bruno Ferreira with. If you like Abus Magomedov, take Abus by sub. Let's go over the props. So, Michel by KO plus 210, Michel by sub plus 750, Michel by points plus 370. Sorry guys, that was my dog. Plus 370. Abus by KO plus 380. Abus Magomedov by sub plus 800. Which I gotta double check that because I can't believe that. Abus Magomedov by submission is a plus 800. That's one of those fights where it's like anything can happen in this fight. Plus 800 for a boost by submission is not out of the realm of possibility. A boost by points plus 450. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a plus 164. No, at a minus 215. Over 2.5 plus 116. Under 2.5 minus 146. Michel by KO on points minus 110. Michel by sub or points plus 220. A boost by KO on points plus 165. A boost by submission on points plus 260. So, with this fight right here, guys, give me Michel Pereira, official pick flip. I'm going to Michel Pereira for the dub. Very low confidence, I will say. I'll take Michel Pereira money line at a minus 148. I'm going to take Michel Pereira by KO at a plus 210. I'm going to take that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 215. I'm going to take the under 2.5 at a minus 146. And give me... I'm going to try to see what Michel Pereira by double chance by KO or submission is. Plus 140. Michel Pereira by KO or submission plus 140. Let's get it. Let's go, my guy. Show me what you got. Let's see it. It's now or never for Michel, because if Michel loses this fight, I don't know if there's a bounce back. Now, this is the only fighter to miss weight, guys. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. It's a very competitive fight as well. Plus 146 for Giga Chikadze. David Onama minus 188. Now David Onama minus 192. Plus 152 for Giga Chikadze. I can't wait for this one. But let's go over the props. We know Giga missed weight. I was going to be on Giga Chikadze. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Giga is 8-2. Is a good example of him being able to find his groove in the UFC. Giga has 9 TKOs, 1 sub, and 5 decision wins, but 2 out of his 5 decision wins are by split decision. Matched up against David Onama, a powerful striker who we know got dropped by Roberto Romero, but we know that this guy David Onama can wrestle. That's one of the biggest red flags. If David Onama chooses to wrestle against Giga Chikadze, who's to say Giga Chikadze can get up? Calvin Kattar almost had a submission on Giga. We know it wasn't really that close, but he still threatened it. If David Onama can just take him down, control him, you know, for the second and third round after Giga gasses after the first, David Onama can win this fight. He has good clinch, good knees in the clinch, good elbows. Not so good takedowns, I will say, but if he can take you down, you will stay down because he can control you for a while. Onama boxed up Gabriel Benitez very impressively with a 6-punch combo. A very good display of boxing. Let's go over the props. Giga Chikadze by KO plus 650, Giga by sub plus 2,600, Giga by points plus 280, David Onama by KO plus 350, David by sub plus 750, David by points plus 175. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a minus 154, no at a plus 120, over 2.5 minus 190, under 2.5 plus 148. Giga by KO on points plus 160, Giga by submission on points plus 240. David Onama by KO on points minus 140, David by submission on points plus 110. If you like David Onama, guys, take David Onama by KO on points at a minus 140. I'm going to go Giga Chikadze, guys. I'm going to go Giga Chikadze. Give me Giga Chikadze money line at a plus 152. I'm a little bit scared with Giga, guys, because he missed weight, but I'm going with Giga, guys. I'm going with Giga. If he's on, if he's showing his A game, this guy went the distance with Arnold Allen. I think he can show a very good display, if not show improvements in his game. I'm going to take Giga money line at a plus 152. I'm going to take Giga by points at a plus 280. I'm going to take the over 2.5 at a minus 190. And I'm going to take that this fight goes the distance at a minus 154. But we're playing with fire. If you like David Onama, take him by KO on points at a minus 140. Let's go Giga for the win. 29-28. Unanimous decision. Let's go, my guy. It's going to be a fucking crazy fight, though. Just like this one. Lock of the week time, baby. Does the lock of the week streak continue or not? Anthony Smith versus Mingyang Zhang. Mingyang Zhang was a minus 590. Anthony Smith plus 370. Now Anthony Smith plus 310. Mingyang Zhang minus 420. You guys know what I said. I said money line, right? Money line was a minus 600. Now look at how much it's reduced to a minus 420. There's value still. There's still value. This is going to be a crazy fight. Anthony Smith, a good 1-2, good kicks. Smith's notable performances are over Vitor Petrino, Jimmy Crute, and his 2 wins over Ryan Spann. Sometimes Anthony Smith can tend to get into his own head and talk to himself before the fight or talk to his opponent like Johnny Walker. I'd say Glover Teixeira fight was an absolute worst beating I've ever seen on Anthony Smith. This guy Anthony Smith is a very good professional. This is his retirement fight, just like Matt Schnell. So I do wish him the best. But I will say, guys, with this fight, massive respect to Anthony Smith. Not for only taking this fight, but for not missing weight, for having so many fights in the UFC, for going over 60 professional fights in pro MMA and never missing weight. That's something that a lot of athletes can't do. And I believe not 60 pro fights and never missing weight. It was 60 he showed up to all fights. He's never pulled out of a fight. Anthony Smith has never pulled out of a fight in like 60 pro fights. So massive respect for Anthony Smith for taking this fight. Anthony is on a 2-fight losing skid to Roman Dolidze and Dominic Reyes. And we know Dominic Reyes just beat the shit out of Krylov. Smith landed 21 strikes on Reyes. Reyes blew him out of the water and landed 121 strikes. We know Mingyang Zhang has never won a fight that has won out of the first round. We know Mingyang Zhang lost to a guy that faked his record. Zhang is a brutal knockout artist with some surprisingly good mixed martial arts. He has 6 submission wins in the first round. He does have 6 losses on his record. He lost by guillotine choke. He's been subbed twice. He's been KO'd 3 times. And he has lost by decision once. Zhang has 12 TKOs in the first round. 100% finish rate. And can always find a finish. We know Anthony Smith has been finished 16 times. But he hasn't been finished that many times in the first round. So a lot of people are banking on the second or third round TKO. Or even Smith by decision. Let's go over the props. Zhang by KO minus 185. Zhang by sub plus 1,000. Zhang by points plus 700. I like Zhang moneyline, guys. I really do like Zhang moneyline at a minus 420. Just in case this fight gets crazy, Zhang starts to wrestle and holds him against the fence. This is going to be a crazy fight, guys. Zhang moneyline at a minus 420. I really like that, I will say. I like Zhang by KO at a minus 185. We know it reduced because it was a minus 200 earlier. Anthony Smith by KO plus 1,200. Anthony Smith by sub plus 1,000. Smith by points plus 750. If you like Smith, guys, take him by points at a plus 750. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a plus 390. No at a minus 550. I like no at a minus 550. Over 1.5 plus 126. Under 1.5 minus 158. Smith by KO on points plus 550. Smith by submission on points plus 500. Zhang by KO sub minus 260. Zhang by KO on points minus 300. Zhang by submission on points plus 420. Zhang first round KO plus 130. Zhang second round KO plus 550. Zhang third round KO plus 1,000. So there's value, guys. Let's go over the props. I'm going to go Zhang moneyline at a minus 420. I will say, guys, this fight can get sketchy if it touches the second round. Zhang by KO at a minus 185. Give me that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 550. I'm going to take the over 1.5 at a plus 126. And give me Zhang by KO round 1 plus 130. And Zhang by KO round 3 plus 1,000. And Zhang by KO round 2 plus 550. Excuse me. Let's go Mingyang Zhang for the dub. Let's go. Good luck, my guy. Let's go. Let's go. I cannot wait. Main event time, boys and girls, main event time. Let's get it. Carlos Prates versus Garry. Now, of course, how many ads have I gotten in this video? Around 3? If you guys have made it this far, guys, comment 37-minute gang. 37-minute gang. 37-minute gang. Because how many ads have I been getting? I don't know. Are you ready to die? Va morir. That's what they were both saying to each other. Are you prepared? Minus 144 for Ian Machado Garry. Carlos Prates plus 118. A banger scrap. We know that this scrap was supposed to be Khalil versus Jamal Hill. But that one fell through. But it fell through for what? Everything happens for a reason. This fight is 10 times better. I will say Garry has good low kicks, super fast body kicks, and can get that high kick up very fast. Excellent 1-2. He can get tagged a little bit more often than I'd like him to. He has a very solid and durable, insanely high volume, almost lands 6 significant strikes per minute. Great takedown defense. And I will say, guys, he does lack power, but we know Garry has been working with Charlie Olives, and he's gotten so much better in the grappling department since then. Garry got in a bit of trouble against Shavkat, where we know he managed to have success till the later rounds, but Shavkat was landing on Garry. He was landing some looping shots, and we know Carlos Prates has a little bit more basic boxing, more fundamentals in the boxing department. We know the leg kicks were a factor, back control was a factor, and it was pretty competitive. And he went toe-to-toe with Shavkat. Great footwork as well. I will say, I think Shavkat's a little bit overrated, but we'll see. Garry has gotten tagged up by Jordan Williams. He got dropped by Kenan Song. Garry strikes from range, and that favors Prates in my opinion. Maybe an inside boxer fighter like JDM or Jeff Neal would give a guy like Prates a little bit more trouble. The uppercuts, the dirty boxing, the clinch. Somebody like a JDM with dirty boxing will probably give a guy like Prates some issues. Shavkat versus Garry was close, but I will say it was not as close as a lot of people imagined it to be. Matched up against Carlos Prates. If this guy hits you clean, your chin will turn into dust. Prates is more centered with his shots, more straight, punches, more basic boxing, more fundamentals in his boxing, and this is a lethal striker. This guy has bombs in his hands. Carlos Prates, his timing is insanely good. The way he finished the Leech, the way he put out Neil Magny, and even the way he took out Trevin Giles. We know he lost that first round against Trevin Giles. He was landing that knee up the middle. His eye got a little messed up against Trevin Giles. But we know because he was getting a little reckless. He was hunting for that knockout. We know Mitch Ramirez was having success against Prates on Dana White Contender Series, where Mitch managed to take him down. But we know, like all of Prates' opponents, he's on an 11-fight KO streak. They've all gotten flatlined and finished inside the distance. Ramirez took that fight on short notice, though. Carlos Prates has been making waves ever since he's been in the UFC. We know Fighting Nerds, big wave. If he wins here, guys, Fighting Nerds is to the roof, guys. I will say he has pretty good cardio, guys, for the amount of cigarettes that he smokes. I will say, guys, he's going to have a 3.5-inch advantage. He has 16 TKOs, 1 in the third. The rest are in between the first or second. Prates has 3 wins by submission and 2 wins by decision, one of them being by split decision. Prates is an excellent striker who can tag up Garry, make his nose leak. We know Garry has a little bit of a leaky nose. His nose tends to leak like a faucet sometimes, but it happens. So let's go over the props. I got Garry to win this fight, guys, by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47, but let's go over the props. Machado Garry by KO plus 400. Garry by sub plus 550. Garry by points plus 250. Carlos Prates by KO plus 195. If you're on Carlos Prates, guys, take him by KO, guys. I think he's probably going to win this fight by KO, or even just take his money line. There's still value. Carlos Prates by sub plus 2,300. Prates by points plus 750. Will this fight go the distance? Yes, at a plus 158. No, at a minus 210. Over 3.5, minus 102. Under 3.5, minus 124. Ian Garry by KO on points plus 110. Ian Garry by sub points plus 130. Carlos Prates by KO on points plus 105. Prates by submission on points plus 490. Garry by KO rounds 1, 2, or 3, plus 600. Garry by KO rounds 3, 4, and 5, plus 1,000. Garry by sub rounds 3, 4, and 5, plus 1,300. Carlos Prates by KO rounds 1, 2, or 3, plus 270. Prates by KO rounds 3, 4, and 5, plus 600. Garry to land 1 takedown, minus 270. You guys know I like that. But I will say, I don't know if Garry's going to shoot here. Excuse me. It's going to be one of those fights where he's going to go toe-to-toe, and it might look a little tentative in the first and second, but things are going to heat up, guys. Things are going to heat up, so don't think that this fight's going to be boring for 1 second. I'm going to take Ian Machado Garry for the win, guys. Give me Ian Garry moneyline. I'm going to take Ian Garry moneyline at a minus 144. Let's go over the props. Ian Garry moneyline, minus 144. I'll take Garry by points at a plus 250. Give me that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 210 just in case. I'll take the over 3.5 at a minus 102. And give me Garry by KO rounds 3, 4, and 5 plus 1,000. And give me last but not least Garry by takedown to land 1 takedown minus 270. So I'm going to repeat them all over again. Garry to land 1 takedown minus 270. Garry by KO rounds 3, 4, and 5 plus 1,000. Garry moneyline at a minus 144. This fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 210. And the over 3.5 at a minus 102. Because we're playing with fire. You guys know in 6 best bets, the bonus is the over 3.5, and the other bonus is Giga Chikadze over 2.5. So, with this fight right here, guys, I think Garry should be able to at least land 1 takedown. If he's not, we have the fight doesn't go the distance. We have Garry moneyline, and we have a lot of stuff. If you are on Prates, you could take Prates by KO rounds 1, 2, or 3, plus 270, or Prates by KO rounds 3, 4, and 5, plus 600. So, Garry to land 1 takedown minus 270. Garry by KO runs 3, 4, and 5 plus 1,000. Garry moneyline minus 144. Over 3.5 at a minus 102. And that this fight doesn't go the distance at a minus 210. Let's go. Garry for the win. I am going to take Garry. Ian Machado Garry to win this fight by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. And you guys know I got Garry by points at a plus 250. I forgot to say that. It hit last time with Alex Volkanovski. Alex by points over Diego Lopez. So let's see how it ages this time. Let's go Ian Machado Garry to win this fight by 48-47, 49-46, and 48-47 unanimous decision. Let me know what you guys think, guys. It's going to be an absolute banger fight. Does the lock of the week hit? What's your favorite fight on this card? All 14 fights. That's right. We got 14 fights, bro. 14 fights. This is going to be an absolute banger card. Stay tuned for the community tab. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll update you guys with my bets. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's get it, baby. The best is blessed. Peace. Hey. Hey.